Welcome to week 21. Crazy. I know I say that every week is crazy, that like time is passing so quickly, but we're here. What's also weird is today is Monday. I don't ever start the video on Mondays, but I've just taken the last 2 days as rest days. I actually think I needed those 2 days because my goodness, remember I went to the new gym on Friday? Yeah, I was so sore. My back and my quads specifically. So sore. But today we're starting off with a plyo day. Crazy, right? Because normally plyo's on Saturdays. So plyo's on Mondays today. So honestly, I don't feel like going. It is now 12:07 p.m. Y'all know I'm so used to going and doing my lifts, power days, running, whatever, most of the time in the mornings. But I am actually very pleased with the amount of progress I've made today. I had a bunch of calls I had to make just for getting everything still switched over between my old place and here. I feel so much lighter now that I've made all those darn calls, talking about all those darn companies for so long. I feel so much better, and now I can go work out in peace and not constantly thinking about everything I need to do afterwards. Let's go get this in, y'all.
Y'all don't mind if I coach for a second, right? Okay, thank you. Let's talk a little bit about plyo, explosive training, power training, like all of that whole bubble, right? I don't think I've ever explained on here what the importance of it is. So let's dive in. By no means am I the most explosive. Like, I have a body, right? I have boobs, I have a lower half. I don't necessarily move as quickly or as high and as powerful as I would like, but that's the whole point of me programming a power day into my program. It's to complement my strength training and my running and my calisthenics that I've been doing. Plyometric training helps to strengthen your tendons. It's preventative care, just like strength training and running and other types of physical activity. It also helps to reduce the risk of injury in everyday activities. Think about the fact that I'm trying to get more explosive, right? I'm trying to get quicker. Plyo is going to help with my speed and my agility. It's going to improve that. It's going to improve my reaction time. So as we get older, we get a little bit slower, right? Like if something were to jump out at us, we're a little bit slower to react. Including this explosive work helps to be quicker to react to things. To put this in like daily terms, like say for instance, walking up steps and tripping, being able to catch yourself quickly, and like I mentioned a second ago, agility, being able to move better, being able to move in different directions, doing rotational work.
You've got to be kidding me. 31 days? 31 days until summer. What happened to the rest of the days? All of the 40s, all of the 50s, what happened? 31 days until summer. I don't know what to say, but like, I'm gonna lock in even more. I hope you are too. I hope you're going on your walks. I hope you're getting your steps in. I hope you're eating things that align with your goals. Yeah, we have 31 days. That's wild. This morning, can we talk about something that's not necessarily, cute to typically talk about? Someone brought this up in last week's comment section. I was like, oh, this is actually a good topic to discuss. I don't necessarily know if it gets talked about enough, but let's talk about gym hygiene and like pre, post, intra gym hygiene, and some things that may not necessarily seem like it equates to hygiene in that moment, but that does play a part. Now, I do have to give a disclaimer. I am no type of doctor. I'm not a gynecologist. I'm not a primary health physician. I'm a certified strength and conditioning coach. That's my credential, okay? So with me saying that, this is all based on my opinion. None of this is factual. These are my thoughts. Just think about it as like my opinion. Like we're just having a conversation and I'm like bouncing ideas off of you. We're just talking. We're just having a conversation. Like we're just chilling. This is not to be taken as advice of any sort. Yeah, okay? Okay, some of this is from my own experience, and you'll probably know which things those are because I'm liable to give you an example. Some things are things I've noticed in other people, and or some things are things I've just like witnessed from the internet, but it's gonna be a combination of things. Let's start off with myself. As I've told y'all time and time again, I'm someone who sweats a lot. I can't help it. Like that's just how my body is regulated. That's what it does. It doesn't help that I'm in humid Houston. I go outside some days and I'm just like, whew. Okay, but that's besides the point. All right. So the reason I'm explaining the point that I sweat again, I used to wonder why like my clothes wouldn't be as, my gym clothes, not regular clothes, just my gym clothes, wouldn't necessarily be as fresh as I would like them to be once they came out of the washing machine. And I feel like there's a few different things that play a part. One, I sweat a lot, which means my clothes get sweaty as well. But then they'll sit in the laundry basket for anywhere from probably 3 days. Well, it could be from 1 day to up to like 7 days where they're sitting in the laundry basket and the sweat is just like staying in my clothes, right? And you would think that detergent and those cute little beads would help. I personally believe the beads mask smells just cover them up. Like, I don't feel like it really truly does anything for the clothes. Like, I still have some of like the smell good beads, but once I'm done with them, I won't probably buy them ever again because I found other ways. For me, what's been like super helpful is putting baking soda and vinegar in my loads of laundry. I put it in every load, like it doesn't matter what kind of load it is, but specifically like my gym clothes, and it tremendously helped. Oh my goodness. I used to throw away clothes. I'd be like, why can't I get like the sweaty smell out of it? I could not understand. And for me personally, adding in baking soda and white vinegar made all of the difference. It was like they were brand new. The whole time, that's it. Now, while we're talking about clothes, please change out of your clothes immediately. Actually, you know what? That is advice. I'm not trying to give you advice. I change out of my clothes immediately. You will not see me going and walking around a store after I get done working out. You won't see me going out to eat after I finish working out. You won't see me like kikiing and stuff. If I run into somebody when I'm leaving the gym, okay, that's one thing. But like, I'm not about to pull up on somebody and start talking to them and whatnot because I'm trying to get out of these wet clothes. Being in wet clothes, especially for us ladies, can lead to yeast infections and perhaps other things. And who wants that? I strip out of my clothes as soon as I get home. I'm not sitting around cooking. I'm not doing all this other stuff. Like, I'm taking them clothes off, and y'all will probably see me in a robe. I take them off, take them clean off, get out of them. Drinking lots of water. I think people think like it's a joke. Like, drinking water is not optional. It shouldn't be optional. And I know some people's rebuttal is, I don't like the taste of water. I'm so sorry when I say this, and I'm gonna hold your hand, grow up. Sometimes it's not about what you like, it's about what's best for your body. Drink your water. I think sometimes there are certain smells that come from people either being dehydrated and or, just not drinking enough water. Drinking a bunch of juices, a bunch of stuff with like artificial flavoring and sugar and whatnot. Drink some water. And I also think this conversation is important to have. So let me just y'all know I'm long-winded doing it. Let me just take a break real quick. I think this conversation is important to have because there is this saying out on the internet that I personally don't care for, which is, at this big age of XX, you should know blah, blah, blah. I don't stand behind that mindset, and here's why. None of us have the exact same background or upbringing. Even sometimes people who live in the same household don't necessarily have the same upbringing. With that being said, what for you may be normal, may be news to somebody else. Even at the age of, let's just say 33. Okay, so let's just say hypothetically, what if there is a young lady who struggles with body odor? I'm not going to necessarily say like where, it could be, anywhere. But she didn't have a mother figure, or she didn't have someone around to help her with certain things. And no one pulled her aside. Her friends don't necessarily tell her that she has a certain scent about her. And it could be something that's medically wrong, like a medical condition, or it could just be poor hygiene. And maybe she thinks only she can smell it, or maybe she's gotten so used to it she doesn't know. Or maybe she's tried multiple things and nothing has worked, and maybe she's visited different doctors and no one can really pinpoint what's going on. I think that we have to offer people a little bit more grace. I mean, I know it's never really comfortable to be around someone and you smell something not very pleasant, but I think sometimes people automatically go to bad hygiene, which it could definitely be, but there could also be something medically wrong wrong isn't the right word. There could be a medical condition going on. Also, back to my main point, we don't always know people's background. You can't assume just because you know it, someone else knows it, even at the big age of 33 30, 25. You just can't. You cannot assume. And perfect example is my communication skills. I didn't understand why it was so hard for me to express myself, or that it was an issue with me expressing my emotions and whatnot until I was in my late 20s. And it had a lot to do with my upbringing. It would also cause me to have sometimes issues with other people because I didn't know how to process my emotions or explain my emotions. And someone could look at me and be like, Jasmine, you're 28. How come you don't know how to do X, Y, and Z? Well, you weren't in my household, or you're not me. You don't understand what I don't understand, or you don't process things the way that I do. It took me a long time to understand that I wasn't necessarily communicating or knew how to communicate my emotions, or to even process my emotions correctly. Same thing goes for hygiene and other factors. So I think with saying that just because someone's at this big age, they should know, it would be nice if they knew, I'm sure, but you cannot expect everyone to know everything at a certain age just because you do. I think having these conversations is actually healthy. I don't care if you're 23, 33, 43, maybe this is something that could be beneficial. So let's talk about it. Now back to the actual discussion. Where was I at? Drink your water. Put that soda down, put that tea down, put that sugary drink down. Have it every once in a while. Drink your water. Because for some people, while they may smell a certain something somewhere, it could absolutely be that you're dehydrated. You don't have enough water in your body. That could be a part of the issue. Of course, please. I see so many people do this, and it really it frustrates me, especially here in Houston, because it's humid Houston, where people will work out on a machine, get up and go about their business. I see the sweat. I see it. Why couldn't you wipe it down? I personally wipe down my machines before and after. I don't care if it's the treadmill. I'm wiping it down before and after. Germs and bacteria is very real, y'all. And you see how I keep touching my face? What happens when you touch something and you go to touch your face? Bacteria is very much so alive. Infections are very much so alive. Please, if you realize you're breaking out, it could be you touching your face. And when it comes to hands also, please, oh my goodness, I wash my hands before I leave out of the gym. I literally cannot go walk out the door and get into my truck and go. Absolutely not. I'm going to go wash my hands, and I'm going to wash my hands as soon as I get home too. I'm just really big on washing my hands, but especially after you've been at the gym. Come on, y'all. Come on. Wash your hands. Again, these are my opinions, and some of this is from my experience. Here's another example, especially in summer. So we're talking June, well, sometimes May, June, July, August, September. I'm taking anywhere from 2 to 3 showers a day in Houston. And that's just me. I sweat a lot. I sweat easily. Sometimes you go out here and it's so humid, you immediately start to sweat. I'm not going to sit around in that same sweat all day long. I personally take a shower before the gym. I take a shower after the gym. Know your body is what I'm saying. Know your body. Know what your body can handle. I know my body, and I know if the last time I took a shower was at 2 p.m. when I got back from the gym, even if I'm getting up the next morning to go to a 4 a.m. gym session, I'm going to either take a shower the night right before I get into bed. I want to take one first thing in the morning. Know your body. Know that if you smell something, then it's probably going to get 10 times worse in the gym, and now everyone can smell you. Know your body and be kind to other people. I know some people are going to say 2 to 3 showers a day is excessive, it's bad for your skin. Cool. Again, these are my opinions, and this is what I do. Also, perfume, especially cheap perfume and cologne, is not going to take away any funk that's already on you before you go to the gym. I'm not trying to be funny, I'm just being honest. Spraying yourself with perfume and whatnot is not going to erase the odors that's already there. It's going to kind of do like those beads. It's going to mask it for a little bit, but once you start sweating, now the whole gym is aware that you smell. And let's get this right. Our bodies naturally put off some type of odor, right? Whatever our body odor is. So sweating is normal and smelling is normal. However, there's a difference between that, but it isn't something that should, in my opinion, be very overwhelming, or something that is really bad, or perhaps fishy or things like that. It shouldn't be that. And I'm not just talking about women, I'm talking about men as well. If there's a very strong odor, it may be the things that we're putting into our bodies. It may be something that you actually need to go see a doctor for. And then we do know there's certain cultures who don't wear deodorant, so they're going to radiate a smell a little bit more. And I completely get it. When it's a cultural thing and that means not wearing deodorant or certain things, and it just is what it is. But I do think that there are some things that are in our control We have to do better, and we have to go to our doctors, and we have to eat a little bit better, or drink our water, wash our hands, clean our clothes properly, take our showers. I think that's important. I think that can make a difference in the gym. One other thing that I just want to throw out here, because I was talking about, you know, ladies who may not have had certain information growing up and still don't know. Also, how do you say it? Boric acid after your monthly cycle, in my opinion, does wonders for quickly getting your pH back in balance. Because again, I'm not a doctor. Sorry for the interruption. I don't know how I forgot to talk about this. Probiotics and prebiotics, so important for gut health, but also everything else too. I know that was so long, but hopefully it was beneficial to someone. Oh, today I'm strength training, full body. I was gonna go try out another gym, but I think I'm just gonna go back to the same gym that y'all saw me at last week. Yeah. Oh, let me show y'all my physique real quick. I am less bloated, but the core definition still ain't giving what I needed to give right now. It ain't like it was 2 weeks ago, which is fine. And then I don't think I told y'all, it's like 2 little dots right here that you'll see when I lift my shirt up. That happened like 2 months ago, and it looks like it would be from like a piercing, because they're like literally right beside each other. But one of my running bras rubbed me really bad one day when I was running, and I don't know why, because there's no wire in it. But anyway, I took it off and I saw that it was like raw right there, and yeah, I've been left with those 2 little stupid marks ever since. But let's go take a look. These 2 little marks, yeah, I don't know why my bra would do that. It could be the lighting in here, but it just feels like I have no definition. It looks like I have no definition, like, anywhere. Well, my core does feel less bloated and less fluffy than it did last week. There's still work to be done. Oh my goodness. Do y'all see this?
Let me just say, that was too good. It was just really good. Like, I don't know what else to say. Now, I do have one complaint. One of my lashes, I do the clusters, came off and was hanging on to one of the other clusters. Nobody told me nothing. I just wonder how long I was walking around like that. Nobody said nothing. Now, is it my responsibility to make sure I secure my lashes? Absolutely. But like, how come nobody helped me? Nobody said nothing. At this point, I don't think there is a hairstyle that can sustain the way I sweat. It just maybe it doesn't exist. I don't know. But I am hungry. I have some ground turkey at home, and I probably put it with some protein pasta. Don't really want it together, but I'm gonna eat that. And then I need to go to the grocery store and get some more chicken, because I'm out of chicken, and just like a few other things like banana. That was so darn good. Also, earlier I told you full body. That's a lot. I did posterior today, so a lot of back work, hamstrings, calves, glutes. I burned 646 active calories.
Good morning, beauties and handsomers. Today is Wednesday, and we're going for a run. But let me tell you one thing. Wait. It is 6:55 a.m. It's already 71 degrees outside. Now, mind you, this isn't just a regular 71 degrees. This is a humid Houston 71 degrees. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out here right now. Outside, not fitting to catch me running until like September. I'm like 90% sure y'all won't. I won't be outside, y'all. I just can't. As much as like my goal was to go to parks and whatnot. It's 71 degrees and it's not even 7 o'clock yet. I mean, 71 don't sound too bad, but you have to factor in the humidity. It's really the humidity that does it for me. So as much as I want to do another 5K, like literally at this point, I could literally do a 5K a month, because it's just more like a run now, because I am training. Also, I'm back to training for my 10K. The last 2 weeks been all over the place, y'all know that. Yeah, running 5Ks now is more like part of my training, because I get to be outside. I get to acclimate my body with running and the humidity as well, through elevation and whatnot as well, and curves and all that. But y'all, I it's not that I can't. I'm not going to, unless by some chance I like join some type of run group and we're going at like 4 a.m. together, then maybe. But I don't know. By myself, I'm not running in the dark. Like that for sure I'm not doing. Anywho, my point is, I'm going to be running inside probably a lot until it cools off. But I am back to training for my 10K. But I need to run outside too. So actually don't listen to anything I'm saying right now. I want to figure it out. 10K is in September. Also, I'm very sore from yesterday's lift. So I'm going to make sure I stretch and warm up very, 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 very good before today's run. Now today is typically a low carb day. However, depending on how many miles I run, I might up my carbs just a tad bit, more towards the medium side, but not quite medium carb day, moderate carb day, not quite moderate. And why did y'all let me keep saying Stravia when it's Strava? Where did I find the E? Stravia, or whatever vowel I was putting in there. Stravia. It's just Strava, I believe. It's just Strava, Strava, Strava. That's it. No, why nobody told me that? Felt like there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I just don't really remember. I did this to myself. Yeah, I didn't go running until 3 p.m. Central Time. Yes, I was editing most of the morning, or pretty much the whole morning, and like posting and whatnot, but 3 p.m. is insane. It's crazy. I don't know what's more insane, me waiting or my hair right now. I only ran 3 miles, and that in itself was tough. It was very slow. When I tell y'all very slow, 52 minutes and 18 seconds, now y'all know. That's over a 10-minute difference. I gave it what I could. I can say that. And then I finished off with some core. I just did offset kettlebell marches, 3 sets for a minute, and then back here. I have reached my step goal for the day. I would hope so with running 3 miles. But I'm at 9,923 steps. Transparency, right? There are quite a few goals that I set out for May that I can already see I won't be hitting. And that's not me being dramatic, but just thinking logically, there's kind of no way for me to hit those goals at this point. And that's okay, but we'll revisit that whatever week we talk about June goals. I am about to go shower, cook me another stuffed chicken breast that I already have prepared. I just gotta put it into my air fryer. Then I have a evening client. I have to respond to some emails, get back to a potential client. Yeah, I will see y'all in the morning. Okay, I know, well, lately I have been extending the vlog out to Friday, which is today. I just made it to the gym. It's 11:53 a.m. Kind of late getting here, but I'm here and I made it safely. I'm going to do a push and squat / lunge day. So basically working my interior. Yesterday I did not come to the gym. If you watched the vlog, then you know yesterday was a pretty down in the dumps day for me. And I don't have an excuse. It just, I really allowed my emotions and what was going on to get the best of me, and I just stayed at home and I edited and whatnot. I did not work out, so I just switched my schedule around. Today is normally an active rest day. Today I'm going to lift instead, which I was supposed to do yesterday. Then tomorrow I was supposed to lift. I'm going to instead probably do like a power day, either run in the morning, and then Sunday I'm going to do a lift and then get back on track to what I'm supposed to be doing. Today's also a high carb day. Yeah. We love that. I have penne protein pasta for breakfast along with some ground turkey because I didn't feel like cooking and it was leftovers. I probably already mentioned this in the voiceover, but I really dislike that outfit from the very first, what day was that? Monday? I hate that outfit. I hate it with a passion. Oh, can we talk real quick? I feel like we can talk real quick, right? I saw this thread. Where are you? All right, it says, I didn't lose weight to be hot. I would never use the word hot, but still. I lost weight so I could finally stop canceling plans, stop hiding in photos, and start living my DAMN life. And so a lot of that related to me because, y'all, I remember when I would not go places because of how I looked at my clothes. Like when I looked in the mirror, I was like, absolutely not. We're not going. I would cry before going, or I would actually, because I really needed to be at that event or in that space, I would go, and absolutely the whole time I'm like this. I'm sweating now. Remind you, because I sweat easily anyway, but I'm like this the whole time, covering myself up because I don't feel comfortable. I'm in a shell, and there's no confidence radiating from me. There's no nothing. Like I'm just tucked away. I remember those days of showing up like that, or not showing up at all because of my weight, because of how I felt in clothes. And I think it's kind of two-parted. One, because of my weight, but then also not knowing how to dress for my body then. And even at that lost weight, like learning how to dress for my body. Imagine that. What I'm talking about is mainly from like 2016, 2017, 2018, when I really would like not want to go places or not do things because of how I looked. And it makes such a big difference. Like one, losing the weight and getting to a place I was more comfortable with myself and more confident, but then also being able to find or know what things to wear to also feel comfortable, because you can lose the weight and still not know what things to put on to make yourself feel confident. You know what I'm saying? Like that works for your body type. It was just took me back in time to like, I was like, I remember this. I lost weight so I could finally stop canceling plans and hiding in photos. Hiding photos, yes. I still find myself hiding in photos sometimes now. That's only because I feel like I'm not always photogenic. Like I know my angles, but other people don't know my angles. And if it's a group picture, they're not worried about my angles. They're just worried about getting everybody in the group. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I remember those days crying in the mirror, trying on pieces of clothing time after time, switching it out, trying on something else, having the muffin top or not liking this and something fits too tight here. Ooh, I don't miss it, but I definitely remember it. And it did allow me to show up as my best self. The only thing I would go back and say to myself, and I want to say with you, is just stay consistent. Be consistent. Just be consistent. It's going to be worth it. I promise you it's going to be worth it. Be consistent. I've been talking long enough. Let me go get this lift in. I'm back. All right. So, like, I just love pendulum squats. Like, so here we are doing these.
I'm gonna skip forward to like the harder ones, the more difficult at the end where you see me really grind through. You can't see the other plate right now, but I do have 245s on for this set. I ended up going up to 245s and a 10 today. Okay, so I'd never done this before. Originally, I just thought it was a pendulum leg press, but this says hip press on the side, so cool. Now this setup reminds me of a, oh my goodness, like a ride at amusement park. More like getting in, that's what it feels like. I ended up going up to 445s on each side, so essentially 845s, and then 25-pound plates. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And that was tough, like super duper tough actually. And I ended up getting stuck, like I couldn't complete the last rep. But I got up out of there because I ain't no punk. Also some leg extension. Let's make them single leg though. I did 55 pounds and 60 pounds for these. Pretty, controlled, slow. I don't know if you guys can see my actual legs shaking, but just know they were shaking. We have some chest going on here. Now I did need to kind of wrap it up at this point, so I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. But I did do 2 plates, and I think I ended up adding on a 10 to each side for my last 2 sets, or last set. Also some lateral raises using the cable machine. I was also supposed to do push-ups. I did not do those. And I was supposed to do some type of lateral lunge. Something very much so in the frontal plane, because we so often train just in the sagittal plane. So it's good to include frontal, but I did not do that. Instead, I got on the adductor machine. Oh, I also did some tricep extensions. I did not record those, but this was my lift today. Really good, really solid. I liked it.